Evangelion is my life, and I have put everything I know into this work. This is my entire life. My life itself. Hideaki Anno. Translation from the November 1996 New Type magazine, and Protoculture Addicts number 43. I am obsessed with Neon Genesis Evangelion. Ever since watching it, this show has wormed its way deep into my own personal philosophies, and has impacted me greatly. I very much understand why it's divisive, but it's also a show I implore everyone to try. I'm very insistent on this, because I know many people in the greater anime fandom might be struggling with severe mental illness, as I was during my first watch, and I also believe the overall themes of Evangelion are hopeful, in the terms of recovery and self-identity. Evangelion also handles so many of its themes with tact and intelligence, due to the context of director Hideaki Anno's situation at the time, alongside a team that really cared for the project. The first time I watched it, I was in junior year of high school. My waning love of anime was rekindled by me falling in love with Persona 4 Golden, so I was looking for some new series to get into. I'd also been struggling with an incredibly severe bout of depression. I was suicidal, I was self-harming, the whole 9 yards. That's when I discovered Evangelion, and was told by a friend at the time that it was one of the best series they'd ever watched. I related a lot to Shinji, the main character, right off the bat. My mom isn't dead, of course, but my relationship with my father has always been slightly strained, and seeing a character that reflected bits of me in such a sympathetic way felt strange. I was also a couple years older than Shinji when I first watched Evangelion, of course, but I was seeing a vulnerable, sad teenage boy act realistically, and be depicted with sincerity. The same goes for every other character in the show concerning the aforementioned realism. In the November 1996 issue of New Type magazine, Hideaki Anno can be quoted as saying, "I wrote about myself. My friend lent me a book on psychological illness, and this gave me a shock, as if I finally found what I needed to say." Every principal character is flawed and human in an uncomfortably intimate way. Shinji spends a majority of the show reluctantly piloting the robot for his father's praise. He is prone to depressive episodes, lashing out, panic attacks, and has a self-defeatist attitude at times. Asuka's deeply ingrained insecurities and fear of rejection lead her to having a truly crippling superiority complex that slowly ruins her life, and Rei feels purposeless, as if she is only alive to die when needed. This manifests in passive suicidal tendencies and social isolation. Throughout the show's runtime, you watch these characters' lives crumble because of their illnesses. These characters go to some very dark places mentally, and I won't go into specific detail, but there are moments in Evangelion that at the time made me need to step back and breathe for a moment, because of how uncomfortable it was making me feel. However, the themes of the show are not defeatist. The last 2 episodes of the show are infamous because they are weird and dense, but to decry them as bad is to betray the themes of the show. They are a 44-minute-long therapy session for the principal cast, detailing the toxicity of the characters' mentalities and what they represent. They are also not the true ending to the series, at least as far as most people are concerned. That goes to the film End of Evangelion. The last half an hour or so of this film is what encapsulates what I feel Evangelion is truly about. Behind all the robot sakuga, dense philosophy, and world-ending conspiracies, Evangelion is about recovery, and how hard it is, but how it is possible. By the time the final credits rolled during End of Evangelion, I was crying. Not tears of pain or sadness, but tears of revelation. I had heard what Anno had to say. I had seen a light at the end of the tunnel. It wouldn't be easy as the length of the last 2 episodes of an anime series and a movie, but I had still seen it. I'm still struggling to this day with my depression. Who knows if Anno is or not, but Evangelion has truly helped me come to terms with and learn to work towards a brighter tomorrow concerning my mental illness. And so this is why I recommend this show to everyone I know, especially those I know dealing with depression or other severe mental illnesses. Sure, not everyone will have the same world-shaking revelation that I did, and sure, there's probably better dark mecha out there, but if it can help someone in even some small way, I believe that's worth a recommendation.